Hey everyone, welcome to the Introspective Detective channel. My name is Alan Ray, and on this channel we explore life and the human experience through the lens of spirituality. In this video, we're going to examine how to see God's plan. Over the last couple of days, I've been trying to come up with a topic for my next video, and I hadn't yet found anything. A lot of my ideas tend to come to me overnight when I'm lying in bed not thinking, but at any rate, I still hadn't come up with an idea, and then yesterday I was given one via circumstance. Whether you believe it to be legitimate or contrived, the present pandemic situation has impacted all of us in a very real way. About a week or so prior to the world pushing the pause button, my car broke down. My source of income was also eliminated by these changes. And I've watched the food in my pantry and refrigerator slowly dwindle each day, little by little. And yesterday it finally reached the point where I only had enough food remaining to get me through that day. Meaning once the sun rose this morning, there wasn't going to be any food to eat. Now, I've been through hard times off and on throughout my life. I had a pretty challenging childhood, and well, I mean, if I'm being honest, the same could probably be said of my adulthood as well. But I've learned as a result of my experiences and by aligning with truth that everything happens for a reason, even the bad stuff. So rather than succumb to despair or panic, instead I try to remain calm and look at my options. I was basically asking of myself, what is being asked of me here? Looking within, I saw only one option available to me. At present, I live next door to a very kind older woman who's getting up in age, but she's still really healthy and really active. We've spoken probably 5 or 6 times since I moved into my present place, maybe a little more than that, less than a year ago. She's the only neighbor near me that I have any sort of relationship with. I actually approached all of my neighbors when I moved in, but this sweet lady next door seems to be the only one that I have a connection with. So given that this was my only option, I wondered what it was I was meant to glean from this situation. I admittedly felt uncomfortable at the prospect of asking this sweet little old lady to drive to get me groceries, even though we had talked previously, and as I said, she's active and healthy and so forth. So those weren't the issues. But my past experiences have taught me that I don't always see the reason why something's being asked of me in the moment when it's occurring. So I let go and chose faith. So I called my neighbor, and it turns out she was happy to help. Honestly, she perked up a little bit on the phone. She told me she wasn't worried about getting sick, and she didn't care much for her house arrest, as she put it. And she basically just told me to meet her outside momentarily at the fence that separates our properties. So I got together what money I could spare, along with a small list of food, and headed for the door. When I got outside, my neighbor greeted me at the fence line with a bag of food. I glanced inside, and there was some meat, fruits, vegetables. I was shocked and certainly wasn't expecting that. I initially tried to refuse, but she explained to me that she lives alone, and that these were all things that were going to go bad soon. She couldn't eat it all. It was just going to go to waste. And further, she had shared with me in the past that she's on a fixed income. So, her generosity meant even more to me. It was touching. We had a really nice exchange. We got to talking. I learned that she had lost her son not that long ago, who, oddly enough, just so happened to have the same name as me. And stranger still, my name is spelled in an unusual manner, and he even had the same spelling. His name had the same spelling as mine. So we had a really nice interaction, and she got back not that long afterwards with my food. I gave her with the food that I had requested, and I gave her some of. I had bought or she had gotten me a bag of potatoes. I knew I wouldn't be able to eat all that. And, I split that with her, and I shared some of my bananas and some of the other things I knew I wouldn't be able to eat myself. Now, I realize that's a tremendous amount of context that I've just given you. So how does all this relate back to the topic at hand of seeing God's plan? As I said initially, I didn't want anything to do with asking her for help. Guilt, anxiety, discomfort, all these things tried to dissuade me. But when I set those negative emotions aside and instead used faith and trust, I was able to step into this space to see what it was I was meant to be shown. Another way of saying that would be, once I removed guilt, anxiety, so forth, once I removed those things from my perspective, I replaced them with faith and truth, and I was able to differently see the situation. So as a result of all this having occurred, I've made a new friend. I know more about her, and she knows more about me. The next time I buy too much of something that might spoil, I'm absolutely going next door to share. And she echoed the same sentiment. I'm not a big fan of cooking. And she, offered that when she cooks too much of something, that she'll absolutely bring me the leftovers. She said that, she throws food out somewhat regularly. So everything happens for a reason. Every event contains purpose. We are here for the advancement of our consciousness, for our growth, to evolve. So if we want to be able to see our Creator's plan, we have to let go of the existing narratives that we tell ourselves. We have to stop assigning meaning to events in our lives and instead open ourselves to the meaning which may already be there. The big guy upstairs talks to us all the time through circumstance. The question is, are we listening? If this video resonated with you, gang, please click the like button and be sure to subscribe to receive more content like this. For each of you personally, what has your experience been in this area? Have you ever struggled with this type of thing? Do you have any tips or tricks that might help others? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. That's all I have today, guys, for this video. Be happy. Decide to have a happy day, and I will talk to you in the next video.